Welcome to Becoming Saiyans.
A Dragon Ball rewatch podcast.
And we're back. Welcome back to Becoming Saiyans. I'm Truman.
And I'm Jesse.
And we just got done watching episode 5 and 6, which are named Yamcha the Desert Bandit and Keep an Eye on the Dragon Balls.
Yeah.
Going down some fun facts for the episode. This is the first episode where we meet Yamcha and Puar, who become like main recurring characters. Some fun facts, some trivia that we have from the beginning episode, the first episode, is that Grandpa Gohan is first named in this episode in the Japanese version. But we've known his name since the first episode. This is also the first episode to feature a full-length fight scene. Yeah. And this is the first episode where there's a special attack used, known as Yamcha's Wolfane Fist.
Which did a lot of work the first time, and not as much work the second time.
Yeah, definitely. This is also the first episode where the Dragon Balls aren't shown. They are mentioned, but they aren't shown in this episode.
Yeah, episode 5 is what you were talking about.
Yeah, episode 5.
Yeah.
They're mentioned, but not shown.
He definitely pulls it out in 6. Then shows it to Oolong.
Yeah, for sure. And then for our, for our trivia for episode 6, give me just a second. We have that. Bulma talks about the bathtub being small, but it's clearly the same size as the one in her house. And
yeah, it's just not as fancy.
The original Japanese broadcast, the Fuji TV logo had not been updated. It had been updated, but the eye hadn't appeared yet. It was plastered in later reruns, including the Dragon Box. So
that's pretty funny.
So it was just there it is now, but it wasn't there originally. And that's
a fun fact.
all that I have as far as as far as trivia. Again, kind of a bare bones trivia for this one. There were some things where they talked about how things are different than manga, but I feel like since we're not really reading the manga, who cares?
No. Neither one of us has read it. Neither one of us plans on reading it for this podcast, and it's not important for this podcast. It's important for the show, but it's not important for what we're doing. So.
Yeah, it doesn't become particularly important for us. It's just in those base level things. Mm-hmm. And just real quick, I'll go down the recap since Jesse did it last time. So to start, we have episode 5. They are traveling through a lake or of some sort, trying to get to Fire Mountain.
It was felt
lake,
more like a
river.
Like a river.
Okay, I was gonna say it's not an ocean, but they're traveling down some body of water when their boat runs out of gas. We learned that Oolong can't really turn into liquids without losing himself in the essence of the liquid.
Which makes sense.
Yeah,
it's like imagine yourself turning into a Jello, and then your husband eats you.
Yeah, for sure.
And then it's you come back and now you're missing your left arm and part of your right leg. And it's
for sure.
Yeah, it makes sense.
For sure.
Things aren't where they're supposed to be anymore.
And then they get off the boat. They are traveling through the desert they realize they don't have dino caps, so they're just kind of walking through the desert. And we find out there's a mysterious figure watching them in the distance. Bulma gets kind of whiny, so she goes and takes a nap. And so we find out this mysterious character is Yamcha with his friend Puar, who knows Oolong from the past. Yeah. Yamcha and Goku fight, but Goku's hungry, so he's not able to fight as well. But Yamcha sees a pretty girl, gets scared, and runs away. In our B plot of this episode, we also find out that Mei and Shu are kind of working in the background a bit, trying to track them down. Yep. And so then at the end of the episode, they built a camper with their then in the next episode we find out that Oolong had a camper dino cap the whole time.
Which you see him go to start handing over to Yamcha in the episode before. But you don't know what it is until, obviously, the beginning of the next episode. Yeah,
for sure. And so they throw out the camper, dino cap, and everything is good and happy. And Bulma's taking a bath. Some antics ensue. and
Yeah.
Yamcha or Oolong drugs Goku and Bulma, and so then Yamcha and Puar try to break in to steal the Dragon Balls because Goku's spouting off at the mouth, so everybody hears them. At the same time, we've got Mei and Shu working on a plan to set a bomb off to blow up the camper to steal the Dragon Balls.
Seems incredibly brutal of a plan.
Yeah.
Let's blow up these kids and this pig.
Yeah. To make a long story short, neither one of them are able to fully get the Dragon Balls. Then Yamcha
None of the three groups of people
Yeah.
trying to get the Dragon Balls.
Yeah, because
succeeds.
Oolong drugged them to try to sneak off with them too.
Yeah.
And so none of that works. So they're driving the camper. Yamcha blows it up with a RPG. And
Which is I
then-
love that he just pulls up. It just has a RPG.
Yeah.
It's like
And-
no care for human life. Just like I'm going to blow up that camper.
And then the episode ends with Yamcha having a change of heart, quote unquote, where he gives them a car so they can traverse, but he has a homing beacon on it.
Yeah.
Oh, he's gonna be tracking
The
them.
tracker beacon.
And then and then Mei and Shu blow up inside the camper because the bomb.
The bomb
You know,
had-
silly stuff.
They thought the RPG explosion was the bomb explosion, so they
Yeah.
get blown up by the bomb, and that's pretty much where it leaves
Yeah.
off. Well, actually, they get blown up by the bomb, and then he gives them the car, and that's where it leaves
Yep,
off.
and that's what happened on this last episodes of Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
To get back into it, I'm gonna let you start us off. What do you want to talk about first? What did you write about?
I mean, we learned about the Ox King very early on in episode 5,
Oh yeah.
who I presume will be probably a main bad guy within the next 4 episodes. I would have
Yeah.
to guess. I mean, that's the location they're trying to go for the next Dragon Ball. if I
Yeah,
remember
which
right.
is Fire Mountain.
Yeah, Fire
A mountain that's obviously always forever on fire.
Yeah, I imagine probably looks kind of like a non-blocky version of like the Nether in Minecraft is what I imagine when I hear something like that.
Yeah, probably.
And it's probably also a volcano. I would have you would guess,
Yeah.
not knowing what it actually is. You hear Fire Mountain and you think, oh, folklore, it's a volcano. Volcanoes
Yeah.
for fire mountains.
Obviously, yeah. That makes a lot of sense. I can see that.
Yeah.
Ox King sounds very formidable and intimidating.
Yes.
He
But
actually
it's
sounds
also
like
coming. It's also coming from the mouth of Oolong, who probably would imagine someone of both of our statures to be kind of intimidating.
Yeah,
in the right
that's true.
circumstances.
Unreliable narrator of it all. But, I mean, he does sound intimidating, to be fair.
I mean, Oolong is certainly scared for his life.
Yeah.
So much so that he turns into a fish and tries to escape.
Yeah, and that doesn't work for him at all,
Nope.
because as soon as he comes back, we find out that he's been fed a thing by Bulma that makes it every time she says piggy, piggy, piggy,
He gets
he has
he gets the
explosive
runs.
diarrhea. Yeah. Which,
the
again,
galloping trots, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah.
He gets them.
he
which is
returned. Speaking,
hilarious.
that is potty humor returning with a vengeance.
That is,
And
it is very fun. It's such a funny way to deal with like what can we do to like, I shouldn't say ethically, but ethically drug this character to where he can't escape. Oh, just make it to where he has a trigger word that makes him practically poop himself.
Yeah,
which
for
is
sure.
way more funny to me than I think it should be.
Yeah.
But I love it so much.
Another thing making a comeback or a continuation is the crotch slap. But this time, instead of it being on a girl, Goku shows that he's an equal opportunity crotch slapper going at Oolong with the crotch slap.
Yeah. It's basically like it's like a weird introduction ritual that Goku
Instead of
does,
asking for pronouns, he just slaps you on the crotch
Yeah.
and just assumes at that point.
which doesn't work as often in modern times, but it's really effective back then.
Yeah, in the 90s and in Japan.
80s, or the 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
In Japan. Yeah. It's also a great way to like get stabbed and shot at, but also we've discovered in episode 5, not episode 4, sorry.
Yeah.
That he just destroys an axe blade without trying.
Yeah. It does
And
hurt him, but he does break it.
We've discovered multiple times that it does hurt to get shot with a gun, but at least on the lower calibers he's been shot by, doesn't kill him.
Nope.
So
I will say her Bulma during the whole potty humor, piggy trigger word, is able to for sure set up the fact that like she's such a good manipulator. She's like, "Ooh, you must be hungry," and he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm hungry," and then she gives him.
Pill.
Oh, here you go. This will make you feel better.
It looks like a piece of bubble. It looks like a piece of bubble gum you get from the old gum dispensers.
And she's like, "Oh, this is like science thing,"
Yeah.
and he's like, "Oh, okay, whatever." Comes back to bite her in the butt in the next episode where he uses the same thing with like, "Oh, this is nutrition nuts, health nuts use this
This
to
is
drug
really
it."
good juice. You should drink the juice.
Mhm.
And, well, he also gets Goku with that, which I don't really think. It's not hard. It's very easy, especially at this point in time, to get Goku with most things.
Yeah.
Because if you're just really nice about it, he's never going to question what you're making him take.
Yeah. He's like, "This tastes nasty," and he's like, "Oh, well, it's nutritious," and he's like, "Oh, okay, that makes sense." And it just goes along.
It just chugs the rest of it.
Yeah. I mean, he's an easy mark for sure.
Yeah.
But one thing I wrote down here is also I'm going to mention it over and over again. But dang, the narrator for this show.
I love his voice. It was very sad for me to find out that he passed a couple of years back.
Yeah.
I think I do remember, like, once I looked him up, I was like, I did think I remembered seeing an announcement about when he passed around the time he passed.
But yeah, his voice
is probably about as iconic as the show is.
His voice could tuck me into bed, honestly.
Yeah, like
it's like soothing. If he just reads me bedtime stories, like
it's fun. Like, I think he was perfectly cast as a narrator, and I think he also plays a couple of different characters throughout the show.
Yeah.
But he is consistently, from what I could find in my little bit of research I did, pretty much the narrator of the entire show until things that came out post his passing.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, he kind of stepped back. From what I understand, he stepped back about the time Super came out. But yeah.
I mean, for the longest time, it's like if you watched an episode of a Dragon Ball, whether Dragon Ball Z, or any of that stuff, you tuned in, you're like, oh, there he is.
Yeah.
The old reliable. You know he's going to be in every episode for at least 2 sentences.
Yeah.
Which is a fantastic voice.
Just the perfect kind of voice. Perfectly, like it's deep and talks to you, but also it has intrigue in it.
Yeah, like,
and it just sounds so good.
It grabs your attention, just like you want a narrator to do, but it's soothing. It's not making you want to scratch your ears off.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, it hits that exact perfect tone you want from a narrator. That, in my experience, not every show or documentary gets right, but when you find those ones that you get right, half the time you just like, I gotta just watch it again and again and again.
Yeah.
And it's part of the addicting quality of the show. I would imagine a lot more people wouldn't get addicted if they didn't know that he was going to explain everything to them.
Yeah, for sure. What'd you think about Yamcha? We finally got Yamcha.
Man, he's a lot tougher, but I think you described that in the last episode of the podcast.
Like, he's formidable.
He's formidable purely because no one's shooting space lasers.
Yeah, he doesn't know space laser magic. So he's formidable when space laser magic isn't on.
He's got a nice sword. He knows how to use it.
He's got the wolf fang technique.
Of course, again, he introduces us to like specialty karate techniques, which is really cool.
Yeah.
Like, it's exciting to actually see him be competent and know like what's coming down the pipeline.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not totally competent. He does have one major weakness.
His fatal flaw, which is
a beautiful woman.
Yeah.
Which is, you know what? If you're gonna give a character like that a fatal flaw, let it be the silliest thing possible.
Yeah.
And I also love that like Bulma immediately is like, I want to date that guy.
Yeah. And Goku also has a fatal flaw. We find out in this episode.
Yeah. Getting hungry.
When he's hungry, he does not fight good, which I guess is just almost the most human thing about him. When I'm hungry, I do not fight good either.
Yeah, when I'm hungry, it's like just I'm gonna go find something.
Yeah.
My partner can attest to that.
Yeah.
He'll be like, I'll be like, okay, it's time to go get food, and then he's like laying in bed for 30 minutes, and I'm like, hey, it's time to get food.
I will say Yamcha, my girl's favorite character. They love him.
They love Yamcha.
When there's later points in the show, like before Dragon Ball Z, where he kind of gets beat up a little bit, and they're like, "Oh no, Yamcha!" like they were they were tuned out when Goku's on screen, but when Yamcha shows up, "Oh no, Yamcha, are you gonna be okay?"
It makes me want to like see some of the reactions to like the moment, like epic Yamcha getting beaten up moments.
I have not shown them any of that. They kind of started tuning out before that happened.
Yeah.
But they like during like the different tournament arcs and stuff. They're like, "Oh no, Yamcha!"
Yamcha, you gotta do it. Come on, you're our favorite. Which I mean, I understand. Yamcha, decently likable character.
Yeah.
He has those perverse things, but his perverse is more just like
Awkward
he's
teenage boy.
an awkward teenage boy.
Yeah.
I think it feels like he's probably in his early 20s.
Yeah, I would say he's a similar age to Bulma.
Yeah,
I think if he's older than
older.
Bulma, maybe not much, but
Like if we're saying Bulma's estimate probably 16, Yamcha I can't imagine is older than 19.
yeah, for sure.
I
They're
would put
similar
him
age.
I put him at about 18.
Yeah.
But if he's 17 or 19, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. I don't know actual ages on it, but yeah,
we could
they're
find them if we wanted to. But
they're
it's
very
more fun to just guess.
yeah, and they're very similarly aged for sure.
It's more fun to guess because when this was coming out, there really wasn't a very internet community to answer those questions.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Other things that happen, Puar,
yeah.
and Puar having a history with Oolong that we learn about.
Puar, very interesting character. I already like her. I'm assuming it's a her.
Yeah, I assume it's a her.
It has some feminine. She has a feminine voice. I don't know. And I think Yamcha might use like feminine pronouns.
I think Yamcha does call her she.
Yeah.
But that's the hard thing about shapeshifters. You never know exactly. Except for Oolong. Oolong definitively said Oolong very obviously and very definitively said, "I am a man."
Goku also confirmed that he is a man.
Yeah. If we need to check, we can go to good old crotch slapper over there, and we'll find out.
You need to get Goku. Hey, Goku, go slap the cat.
Yeah.
Go see what the cat feels like.
Yeah. But yeah, and like Puar being like that, like good, best friend for Yamcha is very important.
And also like being like they seem like they actually have like a genuine relationship. Like, I think it's like the first time we've seen two partner characters actually enjoy each other's presence.
Yeah, I would say
entire show.
I would say Mei and Shu enjoy each other a lot.
I think Mei and Shu do too, but I do feel like
going into the next episode especially, like Mei is not like, "Oh no, like the bomb is gonna we can't use the bomb." She's like, "Oh no, Shu, you're gonna die."
Yeah.
Like it's not like, "Oh no, the mission's gonna fail." She's more worried about Shu, which I think speaks to like a partner level.
Yeah, I guess so, but I do feel like Yamcha and Puar are probably a more wholesome version of that.
Yeah, probably. I would say that. Yeah.
But you do bring up a good point that like Mei and Shu do have a decent relationship, partners wise. But it also does come to the fact of they haven't had nearly the same amount of screen time.
That's true. We got 2 full episodes,
like
basically about Yamcha and Puar.
Yeah.
Like introducing them their power levels.
Because usually when you see Mei and Shu, it's they're a B plot for that episode. And it's like Yamcha was like he had A1, which is Goku and all of them. You had A2, which is Yamcha and Puar, and then you had C because you skip B because you got to tie at A, which is Mei and Shu in these last 2 episodes.
Yeah.
So,
for sure. Talking about the next episode, like episode 6, I actually did write some more notes. Obviously, I found it hilarious that the bomb got stuck to his. Oh, one more thing. Before we go to the next episode, I just forgot almost. Bulma losing all of her dino caps just feels real convenient to make this more stressful. And I don't know if you agree or not, but it felt like oh no, I lost all my caps. Now we're gonna have to like actually try a little bit.
Yeah, because like they were going. It's one of those things like we're what at the time
5 episodes in.
5 episodes in, and they are only missing
2,
and one of them we do know where it's at.
Yeah,
but there's one out. They're only missing one out.
And they're on their way there.
Yeah.
Literally, when they get to the edge of like whatever the body of water was, they're like, "We're pretty close. We're only like a couple miles away."
Yeah, it's like, I think as a writer, it's you want to say lazy writing. It's smart lazy writing, where it's like, this is an easy excuse to make for why it's now going to take them probably 10 episodes to get and secure the next Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
At least.
And I mean, yeah, because like Goku, nobody else can ride the Nimbus but
no one can
Goku.
ride the Cloud.
There's no way Oolong is getting on the Nimbus.
Yeah.
He is not pure in any level. Except for pure nasty.
Yeah.
Like at that one point where he's like, oh, we only one of us can walk if we do this, and he turns into panties. So that
he
Bulma
turns
can,
into a fair panty.
and it's like, yeah, you're not pure in any set of the word.
Yeah, he is not a pure person. But no, I really do enjoy. I enjoyed both these episodes. Arguably a lot more than I enjoyed the last two. Not saying the last two are bad, but the last two did have the big giant negative moment, which is a lot of
Roshi.
pervert,
Yeah, there's a little bit of perverted stuff in this where Oolong.
but it's not as in your face.
Yeah, we're like
it's
a little
like a quick one off.
Yeah, and it's like
panties.
the Oolong drugging people being like, oh, well, he has drugs in his house that are meant to knock people out.
Yeah, he has sleeping drugs in his house, which is vastly overlooked purely because of everything else that happens after they get drugged to sleep.
And because he doesn't use them in that way, but that doesn't mean he hasn't used them in that way.
Especially with how desperate he was, like the fact that he was stealing children in the last place he lived to make child trad wives.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little suspicious that this man has just readily available sleeping drugs. And also the ability to make 2 doses, one of them, as he quotes, enough to basically knock out a horse, which he gives to Goku.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. He
states that in the episode, like, I have enough to knock out a horse.
And he just knocked out for 10 minutes. But it's just crazy.
Well, actually, he was knocked out. He was knocked out all night.
I know, I was being dramatic.
Yeah.
But he him having that is pretty bad insinuation to the situation. And then there's the little bit of, oh no, I looked through the window, but that wasn't him being like, it was just him looking to try to scout and just happen upon it.
Yamcha's perverse moments
were not
accidental.
And it wasn't out of intent.
He seems like a pure enough person of he has decently pure intentions. He just keeps tripping into these really awkward moments.
Yeah.
And I gotta feel
later on in the episode where Oolong, antics ensue after he puts him to sleep where Puar pretends to be Goku, and so he's like, oh no, Goku. And so he turns into Bulma, so then the plan from Puar and Yamcha was that they were going to get Bulma out of there so he could steal the Dragon Balls, so he wouldn't be distracted, but it turns out Bulma's asleep and he rips the blanket off and it's like, oh god, oh dang.
Oh no.
But
he's not going in there. That's what makes Yamcha such a fun version of that style of that character. Is he's the accidental perfect.
Yeah, he's not trying to be perverse. He just happens to look like it after the end of it.
Which is how you make a redeemable perfect. Redeemable moments are the ones where it's oh, that's kind of funny that happens. Now, if you do it constantly over and over again, and you do it 5 times an episode, it then becomes boring and you get annoyed by it. Yeah. But having it happen every now and then, and it definitely feels like they're setting up for Yamcha to be the accidental oopsie whoopsie pervert moments.
Yeah, I can see where you see that.
It feels like that's what they're setting it up to be which is I'm here for it. If it's in a controlled fashion.
I prefer it over the Oolong and Roshi style.
Yeah.
Where again, another thing pointed to Oolong being gross. All he has as far as outfits in his camper it's like a Playboy bunny outfit.
Yeah.
What are we talking about here?
Oolong does not dream of bunny and girl stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know if you get that reference.
I do not get that reference.
Someone might get that reference. I hope someone gets that. If you're listening to this podcast, you don't get that reference. I get you because you probably don't watch a whole lot of anime. But if you do get that reference, you know what's up.
And then I just love that Goku's just fully oblivious to the world. He's just full on telling this guy who's obviously a bad guy, oh yeah, so if you get 7 of these things, then all of a sudden, there you go.
You can
make any wish you want. And it's oh, okay. And it's how many do you have right now? Well, we have 5.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that makes it easy for me if I just steal your... Oh, and how have you been finding them? Oh, the Dragon Radar. And it's like, oh, okay, so yeah, he knows about the Dragon Radar, the Dragon Balls. And that, like, all 7 of them give him a wish. And he just tells it to him, and he's talking so loud that Yamcha and Pooh are outside. Are like, I know our plan here was to, like, steal all of their stuff.
But let's steal these Dragon Balls.
Let's steal Dragon Balls now.
It's like the only, like, honestly, a lot of their problems on this mission wouldn't exist if Goku could just have some self-awareness. But that's the main part of his character, is that he has no self-awareness because he's never dealt with other people. Like, the only other person he dealt with was his grandpa, which, from what we can gather, was a genuinely pretty decent guy.
Yeah, some more lore about his grandpa. Yamcha knows knows of his grandpa.
Yeah, Yamcha knows Gohan.
Yeah, well, maybe doesn't know him personally, but knows of him, yeah.
Like, he knows the name.
Yeah, he's like, Gohan, the only person who could have the power pole would have been Gohan. Like, you must be formidable, but that doesn't mean that I can't beat you.
Yeah, that doesn't mean I can't destroy you in a fight.
Which, to be fair, as far as Yamcha knows, this is just a regular person who trained under Gohan. He doesn't know it to be that, like, it's
an
alien from outer space, yeah. If it was a regular person who had trained under Gohan, there's a chance Yamcha
probably beats him.
Yeah.
Arguably, like, let's put it this way, Yamcha's probably, in this series, probably one of, if I was to guess, obviously I don't know beyond
what these
this
6
scope
episodes,
is or anything. But if I was to go on an early guess, as you stated, he doesn't really start to get destroyed in fights until all the other Saiyans and other creatures, like other people from outer space, start showing up. So there's an argument to be made that he's probably top 5 strongest humans in the world.
Yeah, I would say that.
Like, I think there's probably a very good argument that if it's just like, if he enters a human fighting tournament, he's at least getting on a podium. Whether it's first, second, or third, he's up there. He's got a medal.
Yeah, for sure.
He's got some color about him.
And especially at this point, only 6 episodes in, like, I wouldn't even
he's
say...
the strongest person we met.
Yeah, I was gonna say outside of Goku, and obviously, like, Roshi in his prime.
Yeah.
Would probably stand a chance.
I don't know much about Roshi.
Yeah, but you would guess that what Roshi having the ability to summon Nimbus clouds probably means he has some level of power.
Some level of power.
Yeah.
But also, I mean, how human is Roshi?
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, we'll find out more about him. But yeah, like, outside of Goku, like, we haven't really seen another character who's, like, been able to take it to him a little bit. Yeah. Like, he straight up
Yamcha got some hits in,
and Yamcha knocked him through, like, rocks. Yeah. Like, that's pretty strong.
He knocked him so hard through a group of rocks that it collapsed on top of him and knocked him out of commission for about 2 minutes.
Yeah.
2 minutes in the episode.
Which, which is like 2 minutes. 2 minutes for Goku is a long time from what we've seen.
The fact that he's never been knocked out of commission the last 5 episodes,
and he's never been touched. He's never been touched in these last few episodes. Like,
the only time he gets touched is when he allows you to touch him, which is usually when you're not fighting him.
Yeah, like, or like, I guess he gets dogpiled by the wolves, but like they're not doing any damage. Like,
they're just trying to stop him.
Yeah. Some other stuff I wrote down, everyone in this universe yearns for affection. The first thing Yamcha finds out, after he's like, oh, we found out about the Dragon Balls, and his first thought is, I can no longer be awkward around girls if I get the Dragon Balls, and then I can get a girlfriend.
Yeah, like, what I love, what I wrote down for that is, like, Yamcha's, it's probably not the greatest word to use for it, but Yamcha, I wrote down Yamcha's kind of like a desperate incel-y type character. Like, he's not full incel, but like, with some of the stuff, like the desperation, you could tell it's like, man, this man has probably never touched anyone in a like romantical way.
Well, I mean, for sure. I mean, he even
but
talks
he also
about
lives in a desert.
Yeah, and he also talks about how like his biggest fear is like pretty women.
He can't formulate sense. It reminds me of what is it, Raj from Big Bang Theory?
Yeah. Where like, as soon as there's a woman in the room, he can't talk.
He can't say anything unless he's drunk, which I don't know what, like, I mean, Yamcha seems to be getting over it because he's tripped into 2 of the most able to get over it situations possible in the same episode. Yeah,
I mean, but neither one of them he really got over it. The first one, he falls down and almost blows up their spot. Yeah. And the second one, we find them like passed out at the steps of the camp outside.
Puar has to like drag him out.
Yeah. So I mean, But still, yeah, like everyone in this universe yearns for affection. Like except for Goku. Goku's just too happy to care. But like Roshi,
Also, Goku's also a child.
yeah,
He's not that age.
Roshi, I know it's gross, but he yearns for affection in a gross way, but he does it.
In a
Oolong,
gross old man way.
yeah, Oolong yearns for affection in a not okay way.
In a gross way.
But even he was like, ooh, if I get the Dragon Balls, I can make my dreams come true and be like happy with women again.
With 300 women.
Yeah, exactly.
And then by the end of the episode, he's like, you know what? I think 300 is too many, Goku.
Yeah.
Because Bulma's just making him mad.
And then you've got Bulma, who her only wish, we don't know. Maybe her parents are dead. But instead of trying to bring her parents back, she's like, boyfriend.
Yeah, that's my biggest concern with Bulma. Is just like, where are your... I still want to know where your parents are.
I promise we'll get there, and we're just not there yet.
Yeah, we're 6 episodes in. There's a lot of questions I could ask that are not answered yet, purely because we haven't watched enough.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a lot of things I'm asking where you're like, man, I can't spoil it for you. We gotta watch it. I can't say nothing.
Yeah.
I gotta hold my tongue.
It's happening a lot, but I am doing a pretty good job.
You're doing a very good job. You haven't spoiled much of anything. The only thing you spoiled was last episode when we were discussing, purely just because I did catch a glimpse of the Yamcha name and the episode name.
Yeah.
But I was not paying that much attention when the episode name popped up for this. I have no idea what the next episode's called.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm going to try to do a good job of like looking away before the next episode pops up.
Yeah.
So I don't spoil it for myself.
Another thing I wrote down was Shu, you sweet baby angel.
Shu.
I think officially I'm ready to stake my claim on the Shu fan club. I'm starting it now. Shu, beautiful. Perfect. I can't think of anything wrong with him. He's like, oh no, I stuck it to my paw. And they're like, oh no, what are we going to do about this? And then he's somehow, like with like seconds to spare, disables the bomb and turns it to 8 o'clock in the morning the next morning.
Yeah.
Like somehow they're sitting there this whole time like, I can't figure it out. Like with 5 seconds left, he's able to disable the bomb and reset it for 8 o'clock in the morning on the dot.
And then take it off, and they're able to plant it on the bottom of the camper.
Yeah. So they're able to do it. And then it's like 7:52. And the bomb, they're like, oh, the bomb must have gone off because of the Yamcha fight with the RPG.
It's like, yeah, well, I mean, it is Pilaf. He probably bought it off of like black market.
He got Temu. He got the Temu bomb.
Yeah, he went to the Dollar Tree and bought the.
And yeah, so that goes off, and it's like, then he walks in and they get blown up, and she's like, Shu, are we okay? And he's like, yeah, we're alive.
I don't know. It might be alive. I don't know. No, I have to agree. Very lovable. I think that's something that this show has done really well so far. Is very lovable main villains.
Yeah.
Now some of the side villains, by some of the side villains, I mean Oolong, kind of born to hate that man.
Yeah, and also like some of the other ones, like the Nothing Burgers, like the Pterodon. It's like, okay, they're easy to beat.
Pterodon, the bear.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
like I love Pilaf. He's hilarious.
Pilaf
he also doesn't
funny.
feel like a something to be worried about at all. It's like
I'm sure he's gonna dumb luck his way into like getting something that is actually challenging to Goku by the time they confront each other as a group. But like Pilaf, Shu, like they're all lovable. Like you love having them on screen. Not purely because like, oh, it's to see what happens to the bad guys, but just because they're actually genuinely funny and well written characters.
Yeah, for sure. And then I just love Yamcha. Like that was fun. Like seeing Yamcha again, because I haven't really watched any of the Dragon Ball stuff in a minute. So being able to see him again, it's like, oh yeah, you used to be like really strong. Like obviously we know about the memes about him. So like we're not coming into this completely blind.
When I say I know pop culture and memes, that's one of the biggest memes out there from Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
It's literally just Yamcha just loses.
Yeah, but I love him in this show so far. I can understand why my girls gravitated to him. He's cool, and he's silly, but he's also silly.
Yeah.
But he's also like a good foe for Goku to fight, like somebody who actually knows fighting. Yeah, it's not just big dude with sword easily beaten.
Or like oversized animal that can talk and is threatening.
Yeah, it's like, no,
Or
this...
like Oolong, where it's like he just becomes giant monsters.
Yeah, but that, like, giant monsters with 0 HP.
Yeah.
Like,
Just like he's the first hump that Goku's had to like really face in this entire series, where you're like, oh, this might be, and then Goku just
yeah, I mean,
for relativeness beats him with ease, but not really.
Yeah.
But like it beats him with ease in the fact of like if Goku was 4 years older, Goku would just wipe the floor with him.
Yeah.
But because Goku's as young as he is, Yamcha can actually hold his own.
Yeah, and also Goku doesn't want to fight, really.
Yeah.
Like, that's
Goku's
my favorite.
very, like, pacifisty, and of like, I'm only gonna fight you if you are actively threatening me or my friends, or if like you're an actual bad person.
Yeah.
Which
And-
usually overlaps.
And that's one of my favorite things is, like, after he gives him the car, which we know, us, the audience, knows is, like, him just trying to tail them so he can steal the Dragon Balls at the last moment. Goku being like, I think he's a nice person. And it's like,
Man, he
Goku,
really turned his life around.
Goku, what, like, he's done one good thing in the last 2 episodes. Like, the last 24 hours, he's done one good thing, and the rest of the time, he's just beating the crap out of you. It's like, what gives you the idea that this is a good person? And it's like, well, I mean, Goku's a good judge character, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he
I
just
mean, for all
refuses.
intents and purposes, Yamcha, not a bad, like, you can tell he has decent intentions.
Yeah, and I mean, it doesn't seem like him and Puar are just out there, like, robbing anybody.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like they're doing it because they like it. They're doing it because they need it to survive.
Because they live in a desert.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, also, I don't want to be that person, but, like, if it's that hard to live in the desert, just move.
Yeah.
But also understand, because that's your house, and you don't want to leave your house.
He likes
Same argument with, like, if you're, like, having a bad time somewhere, just leave. But it's like, it's not as simple as that.
And another wrinkle in that is that, like, he's not good around beautiful women. So the best way to remove yourself from beautiful women,
Live in a desert.
live in a desert. Like,
Where the odds that a beautiful woman comes down the desert tracks is astronomically low. It's not zero.
Never zero.
Never zero.
Never zero.
But it's astronomically low.
Speaking of the beautiful woman coming down there, what do you think about that whole thing where, like, they're both talking about each other, like Bulma and Yamcha? What do you think about that? You got any predictions there?
I mean, the easy prediction is somehow, some way they end up together. Now, I do think, from my very limited knowledge of Dragon Ball, Bulma does end up with someone at some point. The problem is, I have such limited knowledge, I don't know who it is. But I distinctly remember, I think Bulma becomes a mom at some point, I think. I might be talking out of my butt, and I'm very dumb, and I'm just combining 17 different characters. But I think I distinctly remember that she is a mom in later shows. It is like married to another character that we may or may not have already met, whether it's Yamcha or someone else.
Yeah. I mean, I'll say nothing, but I like hearing your prediction.
Yeah.
And with that prediction, I guess we will now move into our worst part, best part. Does that work for you?
Yeah.
There's not a lot of worst parts
There's
in
not
this.
a lot of bad moments. I mean, I guess like the baddest moments are like kind of the slow moments, but there's also not a lot of slow moments.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess if you're gonna pick a bad moment, and if you're gonna pick a bad time, I guess it kind of defaults. We're probably gonna pick perverted moments. It's got to be Oolong turning into the underwear.
Well, see, I was gonna go a different way, and it's more the assumption and like the inference of the fact that Oolong, with the everything going on with Oolong and the bunny costume, the
Yeah.
sleeping pills.
Yeah, I guess you could go with that. Yeah.
Like, I mean, if I were gonna pick one, it's like I know that that's not active, but the assumption that the dots they're trying to make you connect on that is probably my worst part.
It's
Just because
connectable
like
dots
that's a
for
terrible
people-
thing to deal with in the
Yeah.
show. It's like it's unnecessary. I don't like it, and it makes me not like this character even more.
Which,
But
to
I
be
will
fair,
agree the panty part is
the
pretty
panty
bad.
part is like the first moment you're like, oh, okay, no. He's
We've-
like, it's not just the fact that he was like stealing girls and being kind of a bad person.
Yeah.
It's definitely also the fact of like, oh no, he's just also is just like he's not desperate. He's also just pervert.
Yeah.
But
But I'll give
I
honorable
will-
mention to
yeah,
the panty.
yeah, I definitely go with that. I'll change it to honorable mention panties as like the second worst, and then obviously the fact of like they put in these moments where you can connect the dots as someone of age to be able to connect those dots and be like, ooh, that's suspicious.
Yeah.
It's like one of those adult humors where it's like, it's not funny, it's just concerning.
Yeah, why'd you put this in a show? The one that I come to mind is the Fairly Odd Parents. I had all these hopes and dreams until they all left me. When did they leave you? How old are you again?
Yeah.
Like, it's like, oh man, that's just messed up. Why would you put this in a show?
But that one's funny.
It is kind of funny.
That one's funny. That one's funny because it's funny because it's sad that like there's probably a decent amount of parents watching the Fairly Odd Parents with their kids, but they're like, yeah, I feel that.
So
Which is really depressing.
moving into the best part for you then. What's your best part?
Ugh. I think there's a couple of moments. I think I got to go some honorable mentions. Obviously, all of the funny hijinks honorable mentioning with Yamcha and finding Bulma in bad situations, and then every moment we get to see Shu and Mai.
Yeah, that was probably gonna be my best part. Is just the entire B plot of Mai and Shu, Mai and Shu.
I do have to give, compliments where compliments are due. Finally getting the first full fight scene, and like, it's definitely obvious it was animated, 30 to 40 years ago, but it still looks really good for a fight scene.
And like it's on brand for Dragon Ball. For what you know. What you know about Dragon Ball is like, this is on brand. Yeah. And also like I think this is maybe the first time where it feels like Toriyama like actually dips his toe into doing something like this, because up until this point he's kind of just like telling this like fun adventure story, and then it's like, oh, like with a little hint of action here or there. Yeah. But this is the first time where it's like action is happening. We're spending a good 3 to 5 minutes on an action scene.
Yeah, it comes off really well. It's a great fact of like, this is still kind of a martial arts show. Obviously, it's not just that, but it has that. That's kind of what it's based off of, and what the combat's supposed to be like. So it's nice to finally get like a full animation scene of just two characters going at it. Yeah. It's not as intense, as it's probably going to get later in the series.
And my thought on that is, I don't think that he was wanting to make a kung fu show. I think he was wanting to make a slice of life comedy. And then he made that scene, and it's like, oh, okay, so people really like the kung fu martial arts of it. Like, I don't know that for a fact.
Well, I think you do get inklings that like he knew he was going to put some of it in, given just like the character origin of who Goku is, what he does. The fact of like Journey to the West is, there are things. I don't know it that well, but from what I do know, like it is a character who does, do fights like this with people a couple of times throughout the story and stuff. So based off of what his inspiration was behind this, you knew it was coming in the pipeline at some point. But I do have to agree that like probably from this point he kind of realized that people, there's space for this to be an anime where you have a lot of fights like that, but it's still a slice of life comedy. You have your funny high antic moments, but then you can lock in for an episode and just have two characters go at it.
Yeah, and that I think that's what it is. I understand what he's referencing with the Journey to the West and all that, and the fact that Goku's origin is kung fu, but it almost feels like mysticism for a bit for me, in my opinion. And then it just like at the end, it's like now after this fight, it's no longer as mysticism as it was. They do touch on it, obviously, but like it starts as like a whole thing where it's like, okay, now we're actually getting fights instead of just people talking and having fun and stuff. Because up until this point, like even when Goku's fighting people, it doesn't really feel like a
one punches basically.
And it doesn't feel like a fight. This one felt like a fight. There was like some gravity to it.
But this is also the first time that Goku's gotten into a fight that like it was a character who could actually kind of keep up.
Yeah. Which
does put it into perspective. Like the last couple of things that Goku has hit, he's like hit them once and they are down for count.
Yeah, if we're going down fights, like if we're counting Goku's all-time record at this point, He is now. He won the fight against the Pterodon in one punch.
When they tear it on.
He didn't fight the wolves. He kind of just bounced away from them.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't count that as a fight.
I mean, he threw some punches.
Okay, so yeah, we'll count. He won it.
So.
He won against
But
a pack of wolves.
I mean, even regardless, you count that as a dub anyways, because he's
Yeah.
not dead to a pack of probably 40 wolves.
He won against the bear with the sword.
Yeah. Which was episode, what, 3 or 4?
I think that was 3.
Yeah, it was 3.
And then he didn't. There was never a fight between him and Oolong. He just showed off how strong he was, and then had to go catch him. So that one, I'm not gonna count a fight there.
That was not a fight.
And then he won a fight against, or he lost a fight against Yamcha, and then won a fight against Yamcha.
Yeah, I mean,
because I would say he lost the first fight.
He lost
Yamcha
the
runs
first-
away, but
first
like,
moment.
yeah, him getting knocked into the rocks.
But at best, you could say it's a draw, purely just because he gets knocked. At best,
Yeah.
You know, I still think you would count it. You put it in like, you know, it's like half a loss. He's got 0.5 losses on his record. He did make Yamcha run around.
I'm counting that as a loss. Yamcha didn't run away because of Goku. He ran away because of Bulma.
Yeah.
And so like if Bulma doesn't wake up and Goku's still hungry, I think Yamcha wins that fight.
Loses.
Yeah. So I'm gonna count that as a win.
Yeah,
as a win for Yamcha, and then he beats Yamcha pretty handedly on the rematch.
Yeah, because he's not his hunger bar isn't killing him like in Minecraft.
So I'm gonna count it as a 3-1, 3-1 so far in an all-time victory.
Yeah.
No, I'm counting just 3-1.
3-0-1.
No, he didn't. I'm not counting that as a draw. I'm counting that as a loss.
The draws are in the middle, aren't they?
No, they're the last one.
No, I believe
They are the last one.
No.
Oh.
I think I've had this argument with our dad before.
I'm telling you, it's counted as
I think in soccer they put draws in the middle.
Okay, well this
and
isn't soccer.
That's why I watch it.
But
I'm gonna say 3-0-1 because that's how I like to say it.
okay, but yeah, he wins 3. He's lost 1. No draws so far, and so yeah, moving forward, you know, in a couple weeks, you know, a week or two. Actually, not a couple weeks for you guys. A couple weeks for us maybe, but not a couple weeks for you guys. We will be talking about the next 2 episodes, which would be episode 7 and 8. Which we're not going to say the names because Jesse didn't get them spoiled for him on the last one. So
I don't know what's coming down the pipe.
Like always, you can reach out to us at becomingsaiyans@gmail.com. It's in the description.
Yeah. I would also say reach out to us on Twitter and the Instagram. I would definitely guarantee I know you have the Twitter account and the Instagram account on. I'm assuming your phone.
Yeah.
So you'll get the information. And if you do have a question, just
DMs are open.
DM it, reply, because I think we're still tweeting out when episodes go live.
Yeah, it should send out a automatic response every time an episode goes live.
Yeah, so if we put it down below there, we'll find it because certainly at this point in time, we're probably not getting more than 1 or 2 episodes or questions an episode.
Yeah.
Because there's not a whole lot of you guys listening.
Yeah.
But we'll try to reply. There might come a point in time if we do get somehow popular enough.
We'll do
where
many
we have
episodes.
hundreds of questions coming in. We'll probably be doing question and answer episodes, but that's a long way down the pipe.
That is a pipe dream, is what they think they call
that.
That
is a long way down the pipe in the dream. So,
yeah. But again, all of those social medias are Becoming Saiyans Pod on whatever version. If there's an @ sign in front of it or whatever, I don't know where you're at. That's where it's at. You can reach out to us there. We also have a website. I believe it's becomingsaiyans.com. It was built up. It was built up with our podcast network. Apparently,
it did? Oh.
Yeah. Apparently, because we paid for premium, we got a little website with that too.
Pay for premium so we can post more than an episode a month.
Yeah, it was literally either pay for premium or post 2 episodes maybe a month, and we kind of wanted to bulk more than that. So
we wanted to make it about once every week.
Yeah. So we have those ready, and we'll be coming back to you next week with, like I said, episodes 7 and 8. And
whatever happens.
And until then, I've been Truman.
And I've been Jesse.
And the journey will continue as we try to become more Saiyans as we move on.